All right, we are not going to get to resolution at this moment. Are there any other comments from board members? Go ahead, Mr. Brown, Jamar Brown.
As I've gotten older, I've realized that life is short, and the things that I have started to appreciate are some of the things that I took for granted when I was younger. One of those things have been my time and my purpose. When I was younger, I did not value my time because I was young and I thought I had so much left of it. And as far as purpose, I felt that there was plenty of time to figure that out as well. Following the famous advice of grandmothers everywhere, I kept on living. And I realized, especially in this past month, you never know how much time you actually have. And because of that, you should cherish each moment that you have doing what you love doing, with those you love, walking in the purpose that you were created to walk in. And I've come to realize that my purpose was to be a voice for the voiceless, to be an advocate for those who either lack the ability or the know-how to advocate for themselves. The way I chose to live out this purpose was by joining the Unit 4 School Board, first in 2011 and again in 2023. My first experience on this board was an extremely fulfilling one. There were many highs and lows, knowing that the decisions that we were making and the policies we were creating were helping even the playing field for every young person that walked the halls of our many schools. After my first term, I dubbed that experience as the best thing that I never wanted to do. Unfortunately, this second time around, I cannot say I'm having the same experience. This time around has been filled with mistrust, missteps, and misinformation. During this time, the school board has taken much criticism over many different topics from various stakeholders. Some of it was warranted, some of it was not, and there's even some that has been self-inflicted. Being the large public entity that we are, two things are for certain. We are not always going to make the right call, and even when we do, we will not always be able to please all of our constituents all the time. In both these moments, we should always maintain a level of humility, compassion, and a willingness to adjust. And it has become apparent that those values are lacking. Before rejoining the board, I had many conversations with individuals connected directly and or indirectly to this district. I heard about the many great things that were happening in Unit 4. I also heard that there were some challenges, things that were happening within the district and things that were happening to the district. With this information, I jumped on board just to work my purpose once again within the district. Once inside, I did notice the attacks that were happening to the district. However, what was more alarming to me were the self-inflicted wounds and attacks we were doing to ourselves. I've tried to contribute to the district's progress through votes, conversations, and suggestions. However, given the current climate and culture, I no longer see a clear path. The district's decision to not maintain a level of humility, compassion, and adjustability has forced us to focus on adult-oriented issues instead of student-centered ones that could help raise reading and math scores and comprehension. The ones that ensure that every child in our district is seen, heard, and respected, and the ones where we will assess ourselves to make sure that we have the right people in the right positions where they can thrive and in turn pass that along to our students. So because of this, I no longer see value in continuing in this capacity. So please accept this as my resignation from the Champaign Unit 4 Board of Education, effective today at the conclusion of open session. I understand that my decision may disappoint some, and for that I offer my sincere apologies. Having committed to a 4-year term and leaving with less than a year in, I hope that my prior contributions and dedication to this community will earn me the grace to understand the gravity of this decision, which was not made lightly, but after months of contemplation. Although I will no longer be sitting in this seat, I will stand true to my purpose and my commitment to this community, and I pray my future endeavors and works in this community will help me regain your support, trust, and faith. Thank you.
Sad to hear, but I understand. Other board members? That is a lot, and I hope our community sees that while this is volunteer, it gets at all of us, all the time, and every single one of us. I would like to think, I don't want to speak for everyone, but we've contemplated the same thing. This is a lot to handle, And we try and do it every single day with grace and humility and trying to find dignity in the other person, but this is real. This is very real. It's hard to continue after that because we do have to move into executive session. Member Armstrong, go ahead.
I want to thank you, Mr. Brown, for what your words brought to the table tonight and your service. I thank you for sitting here. I thank you for your counsel. I thank you for your never co-signing anything I've brought to you. You've always been honest, ethical, and with integrity in every piece you've given to me in this process. So thank you for being here. And I'm terribly sad. And it makes me question my own future. Thank you.
Other board members.
I'd like to thank Jamar as well, having not known him until we ran together. But again, I would echo what Mr. Armstrong said. I've always found him to be full of honesty, integrity, and formed his own opinion on everything. I really appreciated that, and he has a lot of excellent insight, and he'll definitely be missed.
We do have a need to move into executive session. Sorry, Mr. Bruce Brown.
I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. I'm stunned, so it's part of the reason why I'm silent. But to you, Mr. Brown, like I'm in this seat because of you. The conversations that we had when I was a teacher in Unit 4 and you were on the board. And many times you convinced me to, or you tried to convince me to stay. And even when this opportunity presented itself, both of us vied for open seat. I believe we lost to Dr. Baker that seat. But even our relationship through the years, and when this opportunity came up, you told me, vote your conscience. If you can do that, then you can walk away from these meetings and sleep well and live your life. Don't pick sides. Keep the kids at the forefront. So I'm going to say thank you for that advice. And this is just another example of you walking in that space as well, of doing what you see fit, what you feel is best. And I respect you for that. And thank you for your service.
Vasquez.
I don't think I could say it better than my colleague Bruce did, but I will say, in stepping back into this role and the fortitude that has to be about who you are as a person, your comments, what brought you to the decision is certainly earnest. We hear it. I'm regretful that this is the step you choose to take, but I also know that you remind us to center the children, the students, the families. I'm grateful for that comment. No one would step back into this work without, and know the burden and not do it with a thoughtful head. I'm sorry we won't have the opportunity to serve the rest of my term, but I don't imagine you're going anywhere in our work. I just imagine you're going into a different space, and for that, I thank you.